Abyssal City is our map, and to the right side we have for SK Gaming in red the Protoss player. That is not MC, it's of course, sorry, it is LGIM's.
LGIM YongHwa.
I was a little bit too far ahead, Wolf. I was actually in the future. I was already... I was in the past. Oh god, I'm screwing things up right now. Yeah. I was thinking about the last game that we still had between this awesome Zerg player and a Protoss opponent. This is of course after he defeated Flash. Still the Zerg player for EGTL. It is
EGJD Lady Core.
You know, I may be the weaker link in math, but I guess
No. You screwed up in math so many times because of one botched intro. No. No.
I'm the master of time travel, I guess. I don't know. I've actually talked about time travel on the stream so many times.
Okay,
right
you get the master of time travel.
I want to be the master of time travel. You can be the math guy. I'll be time travel. Is that cool?
No. Time travel is cool. I was actually thinking you were trying to pin on me that I am horrible at the intros.
Calder, I've noticed sometimes you wear a watch. I don't need that.
Oh my god, that was horrible! I don't even wear a watch.
You wear a watch sometimes. I've seen it. Not right now, but sometimes you wear a watch. I've seen it. I don't wear those. Why would I wear a watch? I already know what time it is.
Oh god, that was so bad. You should have got an award for this. This was so horrible. No one will ever get
Calder, how many clocks do you have in your house?
I don't want to even hear it.
Listen, I had to disable my clock on my computer. It's gone. I actually purposely set it to the wrong time just to test myself.
I'm happy for you.
You know, if I see a sundial, I get angry. I like it when it's cloudy out, so I can tell people what time it is.
Guys, this is what I have to work with every day.
Not always,
you can turn off the stream. I can't.
Not always every day.
Yeah,
but almost. Usually at 6:10 p.m. Korean Standard Time.
And I'm thankful for it.
By the way, pylon block here is finally denied, and we've got the third hatch going up. So, YongHwa, what's his plan going to be? Because taking the third base on this map, we talked about it before, it's really tough.
Exactly. So after time travel and botched intros, we now have our standard Zerg versus Protoss on this map. And the third base that Wolf just mentioned is really tough to defend because there is such a huge area where the Zerg player can attack. You also have the problem that the Zerg can just split his forces between the third base and the natural. There's the opportunity, the chance that you have to make Mutalisks work. Jaedong is a player who really likes Mutalisks. He has shown that against Flash, but he has shown it against Protoss players too. So if you use Mutalisks here, you can bounce between the bases, you can always escape. And a lot of Protoss players will try to hit you with a 2-day base timing on this map because it's just so difficult for them to pull this 3-base start off.
You're right. Now YongHwa could feel really confident that there's no gas coming out. That probe literally went through that queen's legs, just slid right through and got in, and now saw no gas in the main. So he's going to be feeling pretty comfortable to just go up and tech normally. He doesn't have to make any extra cannons. He doesn't have to worry. Jaedong is waiting with those lings. He wants to see is +1 being researched. He's got the hovering overlord as well. And that core is getting ever so close to being finished. That pylon indicates more so a robotics play than a Stargate. The overlord in the main already tried to check around, but wasn't able to see any pylons. And there's the Stargate, actually puts it next to not the pylon at the natural, but on the high ground.
Yep, the Stargate on the high ground in a position that Overlords usually don't really spot. At least if you really try to hide it, you have a sentry, you have a stalk over there, at least you build a pylon so that you see if the Overlord is trying to find it. So YongHwa could do a lot here. He could just build a couple of Phoenixes, could just stay there and, well, wait a little bit, move out. And a lot of Protoss players, I talked about this with Grubby and Atosis when we were at the gym, are actually going for 3 Phoenix and then move out immediately and just drag the 4th along a little bit. Don't go for the queens right away, because to kill a queen you need 4 Phoenixes. So they try to do a bit of damage to the Overlords and the drones first, and if you move out this fast, you hit a bit of an earlier timing that can help you.
And it's still pretty tough to get those spore callers up, even if you show the Phoenixes earlier and don't go for the queens, and the spores might be still too late. You might be able to get a queen or 2 afterwards.
One thing that a lot of Protoss players argument with is that they say, the problem that I have is most Zergs get an extra queen. So if there are 3 queens on 2 bases or 4 queens on 3 bases, if I take down 1 queen, that doesn't really help me. They just have to move 1 queen over to the hatch where I killed it. So is it really worth it? And that's always the big question that you have to answer for yourself, what you are more comfortable with.
Exactly. It's of the utmost importance to decide how to respond to Stargate play as a Zerg player, because you never want to get stuck into the Hydra trap. But sometimes if you make a few mistakes, you get locked down in there, you make Hydras, then you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now with these Hydras. I can't really use them anymore than I've already used them defensively. I've got to make a Nidus now and try to kill him, try to punish him, maybe. It's very uncomfortable. By the way, we have Immortals now on the production tab, and YongHwa has not set up any sort of wall. In fact, he's adding gateways now, not at a third base, so it looks like he may try to hit some sort of timing off 2 base.
You know, a style... I talked about it briefly earlier, but a style that Hero like to use on maps like Kingdom is going... No, not Chaldeum, Cloud Kingdom.
Oh. I was like, what?
No. He starts with the Stargate opening, goes into Phoenix, harasses with the Phoenix, makes sure that the infestors that will eventually pop out don't take down his air units, moves back with them, and gets his third base. But he doesn't really mine from the third, and then hits with a delayed Immortal push. And this is, I would say, a bit of a variation of what he's doing. He's not going to get the third base, but he's staying on the 2 bases. So it's similar. It's not the same, but it lends itself into the same attack in the end. What Hero tries to do is show the third base and show the Zerg player, hey, I'm taking a third right now. He's not mining from it, so he doesn't go into enough probes. But on this base, YongHwa isn't really confident in showing the third, so he's playing it like this. And now he moves out, as you can see, with 3 Immortals. He still has a couple of Phoenixes there that he can use to lift a few of his opponent's infestors if they are there. But JD doesn't even go into an infestation pit. He goes for exactly what we predicted earlier. He goes straight into Spire.
You know, he checked very late for that third. All the Overlords got cleaned up earlier, so it was hard for him to see whether there's a third base or not. But he sends the Overseer in now, but it's a bit too late. He still hasn't seen the gateways. So since he didn't have a Zergling, I feel this really hurts him. But this is great, catching these Zealots like this. It's really helping slow down the push, but the Immortals are there. Look at all these Spine Crawlers, 11.
11 Spine
And they're not going to finish. It doesn't look like even a single one will finish. All of them are cancelled here.
He cancels all, and he's just waiting. He's just buying some time. He wants the Spire ready. He has the bank. Look at this Bank Wolf, and he has the Overlords as well. If the Spire finishes, we will have 14, 15 Mutalisks right away. And this army of YongHwa cannot deal with this many Mutalisks. Yeah. If he whops in additional Stalkers, though, it's a different story.
Exactly, and I feel like with all those Spine Crawlers, it tells the tale. I feel like at this point, YongHwa is reading him like an open book, saying, hey, if you're making that many Spine Crawlers, you should have had units to defend. You're definitely going Mutas. He needs to make more Stalkers, though, and he does. He makes 5 additional Stalkers. He's got to make sure he keeps that Warp Prism alive, too, because that's very critical in this defense.
And he also needs the Guardian Shield later on. And now we have 16 Mutalisks. More and more Spine Crawlers are being built. YongHwa takes down the Natural, but can he stop the onslaught that is bound to come? Jaedong is in trouble. Can he turn things around here? Both of them, they need this win.
No cannons going up at home. The Mutas are actually going for a counterattack. There are just those 3 Phoenixes, and that's not going to be enough, especially if they're into the Mutas like this.
What does Jaedong try to do? He's trying... Oh, no micro here from YongHwa. He doesn't see it, and now he lost 2 of his Phoenixes. Jaedong tries to set up a huge amount of Spine Crawlers at his third base and tries to take down YongHwa's economy to make sure that this is going to be a base trade scenario.
Exactly. You know what, man? That sentry is dead. The Lings are coming through here. He needs some cannons. He doesn't make them. More Mutas are on the way. YongHwa's base is in trouble, but I don't know if Jaedong is going to be able to hold his third with all these spines. He needs his Mutas together.
He gets the Spine
core
Crawlers.
Is gone.
That is so important. No more. There are just no more Stalkers. He could get a couple of cannons, but he doesn't even try to build them. The army doesn't do anything. At the top left in the main base, YongHwa isn't using his army, and every second is critical here.
Probes get picked up in this Warp Prism, which is actually so intelligent. You know, at this moment in time, you know, I'm not even joking, 100% serious. When that Warp Prism gets back, I put it in phase mode and start a Cybernetics Core underneath it, because any Cybernetics Core he tries to start here at his main base is just going to be killed and sniped instantly. He's going for the attack. He's not going to wait at all. He's got to go for a different angle, though, and this gives Jaedong so much time. The spawning pool is being remade. There's a hatchery to the bottom right.
11 Stalkers against 12 Mutalisks, and the Mutalisks are still trying to make sure that YongHwa cannot mine anymore. Trying to take everything down. Spawning pool is being built. Bottom right with another expansion out for Jaedong. This is such a close game. The Nexus in the main base is nearly dead, and he's immediately going over to the Natural to take the second one out, too.
He does not have enough gas to actually make more Stalkers, so making a Cybernetics Core isn't even really going to help him. him.
But he needs to take down these next side.
Yeah, and you know what? He's actually, with the Lings, he may be able to get it. This is going to be so close. No, he can't get it just yet.
Snipe it. He needs to snipe it.
He needs to use his mutas, and he does.
He needs to take it down.
Oh, he leaves the Nexus. Oh, wow. He gets it. That was so close.
My heart. But still, we have enough minerals now to get another one. If he sees that, but he doesn't. He doesn't have the Mutalisk around. If he would have just left the Mutalisks there, then he could have sniped it now. But he doesn't know about it. He has no idea.
This is so tense. Remember the tech was reset for Jaedong, so he's making his lair now at his old third base, which is now his main, where he has 21 spine crawlers.
One thing that we have to mention right now, the Harvest account. Let's talk a little bit about the state of the game at this point. 8 probes against 28 drones. We have 2 bases for Jaedong, with the hatch at the bottom right just finishing a second ago. And YongHwa has to wait for his Nexus to be completed. Because of those Mutalisks, he can't really move out with his army. He needs the entire army if he wants to crush the spine crawlers. But if he does it, if he moves out, then suddenly his entire base is open to the Mutalisks. So he is trapped now. And even though Jaedong is now down in supply, he's actually ahead in the game.
Yeah, and he's putting some more hurt on YongHwa by taking out a pylon here, which further supply blocks YongHwa at a time where he can't even afford to make a pylon. Oh, YongHwa's making a smart choice, though, because there's not that many mutas, and he sees that. So he's actually going to move out with an army that I think needs a few more stalkers. He wants to leave some stalkers at home, and then move out with this army and try to find any additional hatcheries. But
you know,
this is actually pretty close whether the Mutas can take the army.
The Mutalisk, the Mutalisk can't take this army. That's definitely true. You're so right about it. The thing is, can this army take down the spine crawlers? And I don't think so.
I think he wants to try to find any external hatcheries, though.
Yeah.
You know, because there is that one base at the bottom right. He's looking for something like that.
And there's even another one being built by Jaedong. Jaedong is playing a macro style now, and the Observer sees one, and this is what YongHwa might go for now. The thing is, if YongHwa attacks into the spine crawlers and he loses 2, 3, 4 stalkers,
then he loses his only advantage in this game, the army, and he's losing several probes.
He can't afford it.
He cannot lose his probes.
Oh my god, Jaedong is like a surgeon now. 3 probes left for YongHwa. This is bad news. If that Spire is done, so is YongHwa.
Yeah, exactly. He can just continue to make mutas. He's going to pick off another muta here. Really nice control and map awareness by YongHwa, but he still needs to do more than pick off a muta. He needs to kill this base.
You know, that decision-making by Jaedong was really so great. When we saw this Immortal push coming out, he realized, I'm not ready. I don't have it. So he moves back. He even cancels the spine crawlers. And why did he cancel the spine crawlers? Because he needed the minerals so that he can build 15 Mutalisks when the Spire is done. He realized, I'm banking my entire minerals now into the spine crawlers. I might be able to get a few of them, but YongHwa will take this base anyways, and if I then don't have the minerals but only the gas, I can't get the Mutalisk. Great decision making by Jaedong, sacrificing his natural, and now he's in a perfect spot.
Now we can go for picking up more buildings on the main base. 5 more mutas are coming out because the Spire is done.
This is the beginning of the end.
Jaedong is actually just playing this like he is the master of Zerg. He knows every right decision to make, and YongHwa finds himself caught between a spine crawler and a hard place here because, yeah, maybe he can kill this one base or he's mining a little bit of gas, but that's not going to be enough. It certainly helps, but
Abyssal City is the anvil, and those Mutalisks, they are the hammer, and Jaedong is dropping it.
He's dropping it hard. Several drones get picked off here, but it's not enough. You know, the Mutalisk count is getting higher and higher. He's now going up to a total of 20.
The third base is dead again, but this is not the big story. The big story is Jaedong still being on 2 bases, which YongHwa does not know. Jaedong being on 45 harvesters and having 19 Mutalisks, and he is not stopping. He has no plans of stopping whatsoever. And if he has enough Mutalisks, he can just go in the middle of the map and can take down this entire army. All the Immortals, the Sentries. YongHwa is...
There's nothing he can do.
Yeah. He's
actually just going to go fight it. GG. Jaedong with some crazy decision-making on a great map for Zerg versus Protoss. He had all the cards stacked against him, but he made every right choice to win this game with Mutalisks.
Really well done here by Jaedong. That was very, very well played, and he deserved this win.
What a game, man. That was really smart by Jaedong. Everything he did when he had those spine crawlers canceled, the minerals, saved his Mutas, kept them alive, and used them to just pick YongHwa apart like a piece of crab meat.
And YongHwa is now on 3 losses. He didn't win a single game, and this means that he has to hope for tie situations. He's not out of it yet. It looks really grim, but he is in a position where it's not in his own hands. He has to hope for specific results to make this happen.
Yes. 0-3 is just absolutely
It's horrible for you.
It's horrible. And, you know, we have that third place spot, so things are not as horrible as they would be, for example, if you look at last year's up and down status. But that was pretty intense what we just saw. I'm actually a little bit shocked that Jaylong was able to pull that one off.
The decision-making was brilliant.
You know, he couldn't really afford a lot of cannons, so he was trying to decide, what do I do? I know he's got mutas. I think I'm going to try to kill him. I want to warp in Stalker instead of making cannons at home. And it ended up being that Jaylong had too much. He killed too many probes. And the only probes he saved were the probes in the Warp Prism, which were 8. And that's just not enough to have an economy.
He didn't really know what Jaden was going for. If he would have seen the spine crawlers, he would probably have moved down a little bit faster, split his army, used a few units to make sure those spine crawlers don't see the light of day. But when he arrived at the third at the bottom left, they were already, I think he counted them 21 if I'm not mistaken. Way too many for him to break through with the army that he had, and those mutalisks gave him a hard time.
That was a rough game for YongHwa at the end of the day, but he had a really nice attack. He had a cool plan, go into Phoenixes, follow up with a big timing attack.
And guys, we are going into MC versus Flash, but before we jump into the next game, we have a 5-minute break if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong here, but I think we have a break again. One more game? Okay, awesome. So MC versus Flash before we
breaks. We're just keeping on here, and I'm really excited actually about this next match. MC versus Flash. This is kind of like the tale of two titans. One Brood War Titan switched over to StarCraft 2, doing very well, and one player who's not so good in StarCraft 1, but very good in StarCraft 2. It's going to be awesome.
1-1. Both of them have one win and one loss. One of them will get ahead. MC to the left, and with his ruler being present on the desk, Flash to the right.
He's got one of those clear rulers. Those are definitely the best to slap your friend with, too, because it doesn't really hurt that much, but it's kind of annoying when your friend's bothering you. He's saying something you don't really like, you slap him on the wrist, and he's just, stop it, man. That's what I would do when I was in elementary school. I'm like, listen, shut up. Let's get back to work. It's okay. You could also like put it in front of your eyes and look through it because it's clear.
Now I finally know why you're so bad at math. What you did when you had, when you were in class.
My friends are trying to distract me.
Yeah, you were looking through it. I understand. It's okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
Finally, I have an explanation. I was wondering about that for a long time.
I mean, listen, people can come up with any explanations they want. I was top of the class.
The only thing I have to say to that is 60 banelings. Nothing else, though. Nothing.
Are you sure you don't mean 70?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Do you know how many inches are in a foot? I bet you don't know that. You're European. Ah!
Weird American stuff. Let's get back to StarCraft 2, guys. The GSL up and downs. Group A, MC is up against Flash. And we are jumping.